Wind threads through a tower, thin, hollow. A pocket watch clicks shut with the exact little sigh of a hinge. A market bell rings once, and the day seems to tilt slightly. Vendors straighten. A rice seller ties her apron with practiced fingers. Who set the hours that people follow? Who taught markets and pagodas to share the same clock face? Let's explore that and listen, because the town's rhythm is telling us a story.
Welcome to Ancient Echoes. I'm Sam Nang Bradley, and today's episode follows clocks, watches, and the hands that wind them, how mechanical time reshaped markets, prayer, work, and memory in Cambodian towns and across diasporas. This is a monologue, close listening, descriptive vignettes, and an ethics note up front. Please don't snap or share photos of workshops or family heirlooms without asking. Later, I'll give you simple Khmer and English consent phrases you can use. Context is everything, so let's sit with that for a moment.
Before the tick, time in these places was not a single fixed line. Temple bells marked the transitions, dawn chants, midday alms, evening recitations, and households measured days by cooking fires and irrigation cycles. People moved with a social tempo, not a universal minute. Then mechanical clocks arrived, first as colonial gifts, municipal installations, imported pocket watches carried by merchants, and fixed hours began to thread through public life. The change was subtle and profound. A merchant's opening hour could alter the flow of labor. A watch on a foreman's wrist could reorder expectations at the rice mill. But this is not a story of simple modernization. That's where the richness lies. Clock time braided itself into existing practices, sometimes replacing them, often coexisting with them. At the maker's benches, picture a narrow shop lit by a single bulb. A cobbler becomes a watch repairer at dusk, using a shoemaker's awl to pry a case open, improvising with brass found in old radios. Apprenticeship here often follows family routes, sons, daughters, neighbors, learning by watching and doing. Gender plays quietly yet clearly. Some repair tasks are considered after-hours work for women. Other tasks remain the domain of men with access to suppliers. The tools are modest: files, tweezers, a wooden stake, and the skill is enormous, diagnosing which tiny spring has forgotten its memory, coaxing life back into a tiny mechanism. I've learned to listen without giving technical instructions on air. These crafts deserve trained conservators when restoration is delicate. If you're curious, look for vetted workshops or supervised learning. Don't try a full restoration from a hurried online how-to. The evidence shows us that good preservation is patient and expert-led.
Public clocks rearranged public life in ways both visible and quiet. A faded tower face at the market corner would toll the opening, and people adjusted. School schedules began to ring at a uniform hour. Employers could measure lateness. Devotional rhythms continued, but sometimes shifted to accommodate market time. In some towns, the old temple bell still marks the spirit of the day, while the municipal clock enforces commercial time. The complexity here is important. Punctuality was never simply a moral improvement. It could mean new wages, new hardships, but also new communal coordination. Harvests timed with transport, prayer times matched to trains. That's the heart of the matter. Mechanical time became one thread among many social rhythms.
Timepieces as kin. I keep returning to a small wristwatch I saw in a Phnom Penh apartment. Worn leather band, glass slightly scratched. A grandmother in the diaspora winds it every morning, and the act is an embodied memory. It belonged to her father, who brought it across the border in a packed suitcase. A watch is not just utility, it's a story carrier. Repairs travel with migration, a polish here, a replaced crown there. When you ask about a watch, you are sometimes asking about a family's journey. These objects carry advice too: how to keep a movement running, who to take it to, which towns still have trained hands, and those practices cross borders. Listen closely. The watch's tick can be a lullaby, a map, and a genealogy. Field etiquette and practicalities. Let's be concrete. If you want to photograph a maker or a family watch, ask first in a way that respects both person and craft. In Khmer, you can say, "Knyum ai ta rupante," which means, "May I take a photo?" Add, "I will pay," or "I will anonymize the location if the person prefers." In English, "May I take a photo? I can pay for your time, and I will not share the exact location if you prefer." Offer payment for time. Never assume permission. If someone says no, accept that gracefully and thank them. For delicate repairs, do not attempt step-by-step restorations at home. The research tells us that improper tinkering can damage springs and surfaces beyond repair. If you find a family heirloom that needs care, look for vetted conservators or local workshops we've vetted through some non-supervised visual guides. Submit images through the show's curator channel rather than posting exact shop addresses. Anonymize locations on public posts, and if you do share, include provenance, where the object came from and who the maker was, if known. These small ethics help protect artisans from unwanted visitors and protect heirlooms from harm. Before we close, a small invitation. Find one modest clock or watch, nothing invasive, just something in your home or the corner shop, with a story you can tell about where it came from. Share a single photo with provenance, who owned it, where it came from, one-sentence history. Tag Ancient Echoes and Sam Nong's YouTube channel, and use our curators if you're unsure about revealing locations. We'll collect stories for a visual reel that centers makers' consent and family voices rather than voyeuristic snapshots. Remember, offer payment for time, anonymize locations when asked, and if you're curious about repair, seek trained help. Today we walked from the hollow of a tower to the intimate turning of a crown. We saw how clocks reorder labor, how watchmakers improvise with local materials, and how a simple wristwatch can carry migration stories. The takeaway is modest. Mechanical time did not erase older rhythms. It braided with them, creating new expectations and new intimacies. Keep listening for the small ticks in your life. They are often the echoes of larger histories. For companion visuals and vetted workshop recommendations, check Sam Nong's YouTube. And if this episode moved you, share a respectful image as we described. Let's unlock the echoes of history together.
In the quiet of night, I whispered my plea, holding her close, hoping for her decree. I called upon spirits, asked them to guide, to take her heart and lead her by my side. So I drew her near, traced her brow so fair, my sight this way. Sacred power, Swahai, mighty spirit awakened. By the master's right, let her heart be gently taken. Let her follow me now by vow and by sign. I hear these words, oh teacher, witness this plea. Oh, my sacred power, Swahai.